We are in the middle of the day 4 Brendan Banfield trial, the Au Pair affair. On the stand was the forensic blood spatter person. She analyzed the blood-stained areas of the home of Brendan Banfield. I keep wanting to say Brendan Banfield. And it was the defense's turn to go ahead and question her. She made a couple of statements stating that she could not tell you how the cast-off was made, whether it was via his hands, if Banfield had his hands saturated in blood because he was trying to give relief to Christine, if that blood spatter could have been from his hands. Now, she said that she expected it to be in the pattern of how many fingers you have, but she couldn't determine. She couldn't determine if it was a knife. She couldn't determine if it was fingers. The blood stains that were down the throat of Joe Ryan, she couldn't ascertain how those occurred. We do know that there was a shot to the right temple of his body, I believe, right? And that could have created that one, and that he could have aspirated blood out from perhaps the second gunshot somehow or another, but she could not ascertain where those how those stains were on his neck. She couldn't state how the other stains got there. She just knows that they were transfer stains. She couldn't say how that they were placed there. The volume of blood in testing, and there was lots of contaminants. They couldn't test the stuff on the knife because it was contaminated from people in the scene. They couldn't test the blood on the gun because it was contaminated and what have you. She did not waver on the stain on the hip. The stain on the hip is in a downward flowing pattern. It is a fixed stain. So he wasn't upwards when that happened. He was laying down, and she stuck to that. When it was on redirect, the prosecutor asked her about Joe Ryan's hand and if he was using a knife. Usually a knife slips. We talked about this before, and usually you get a cut on your hand from a knife slipping. There was no cuts on Joe Ryan's body whatsoever. Joe Ryan had 2 gunshots to him, one in the head, one in the chest, and that is how he died. So that is the end of the testimony for the forensic examiner. Come back again and we'll see what our last witness of the day is. And will the prosecution rest? Follow me for more.